Hello gem and jewelry friends, this is Justin K. Prim, and for this video I've teamed up with GemMatrix here in Bangkok to talk a little bit about emerald oiling. So GemMatrix is a company here that's been in Bangkok for 17 years, specializing in high-end, high-quality stones, including emeralds. And so today we're going to head into the office and actually talk to them and see how are the emeralds oiled. So let's check it out. Hello. How's it going?
Good.
Let's check it out. So today I'm here with Nikita from GemMatrix, and we are going to be talking a little bit about emerald oiling. So part of your job in GemMatrix, you guys are working with a lot of different types of stones, and one of the stones that you work with is emeralds, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And so sometimes, you know, as we're going to see, the emeralds need to be oiled.
Yes.
So when it comes to oiling emeralds, does every emerald need oiled, or is it on a case-by-case basis?
You know, it's like this. You know, all the gemstones, they are different from each other, right? Some of them, they're more included, some of them less. So emerald is that kind of material that is very included since the beginning with some cracks. So in efforts to bring the stone more transparency, we need to improve it.
Okay.
By adding the oil or resins or some kind of polymers. The oil is more basic, it's like the normal procedure.
Okay.
Because 90% of the gemstones right now, I mean the emeralds, they are really cracked. So, and they are the oil for sure inside.
Yeah.
Have some pieces which is no oil since the beginning, and the people try to keep them that way because it's affect the price so much. Yeah. If you.
So basically, if you have a clean material where you can do no oil, this is like a very desirable.
Yes, this is the perfect pieces. It's like masterpiece or something like this.
But as you said, like 90% of the stones, they're not in that quality category, so they need some help from us.
True.
In order to really make them shine and have their best look.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So this is the machine that you're using, right?
Yeah, we're using actually two different methods. One is the simple, basic methods. You can do with just a normal, like, let's say, mason jar.
Okay.
You take the mason jar, you fill it with the oil, you put the stone in, leave it there for, let's say, good 2-3 days. Okay. It's gonna improve a lot. But using the machine method, more advanced method. First, to use the machine, you need to clean the stone completely out. So all the air bubbles, maybe some other inclusions, which is
and maybe even some stuff from the polishing and the cutting
Or
techniques.
for example, if you don't know the story of your stone, when you get the stone, you don't know what was inside. Yeah. Maybe it was the resin, maybe it polymers, maybe everything is possible. So for this, you need to use some cleaning techniques. So easier methods is if you take the ethyl alcohol or methyl alcohol, it's fine.
Okay.
If you have more inclusions, which is like to say remainings of old oils, it's very hard to take it out and wash out. You just take it out everything what you want to get rid from the stone, and then you put this in the vacuum machine. You put this into one chamber, then you take it out the air, so you burn this air. Okay. And you get the vacuum in here and in here. Here in this chamber, you also have the oil, or for example, polymer or resin, whatever you want to
put inside. So it's going to go in here.
Yeah.
So the emeralds are going to go in here, right?
Yes, first, and then you make the vacuum, and at the same time you make the vacuum cleaning of the stone. Okay. Because when the air is sucked out of this chamber, so it's also sucked out of the stone. You get rid of this air bubbles and some remainings which is inside. So this is a proper cleaning.
So you'll put the emeralds in here. You're going to suck the air out so that basically the inclusions are empty, ready for getting filled with the oil.
Yep.
And then you have the oil or whatever you want to put on this side.
Yep.
And then what's the next step after that?
And then you open the connection between the chambers, and then this chamber will suck everything what is in here.
Okay.
Brings it to the chamber where you have the emeralds.
And so that vacuum pressure then is just going to pull the oil inside.
Yes.
So then you know that basically the inclusions have been full, all the way deep inside the stone.
Yeah, but you know that the oils is that substance that whatever it can penetrate, it will.
The cracks have to be reaching the surface, right? So if you have a crack inside the stone that doesn't reach the outside, there's no way for the oil to go in, right?
Yeah, true.
Okay.
But you know, I think it's not 100%, because even if we cannot see the crack in the loop, right?
Yeah.
You can't say that there is no crack, because emerald is that kind of material that sometimes it's you can just see the stone, it's perfect. Maybe a few months later, it will show some crack.
Okay, so then do you need to do like regular oiling then, or is it once a lifetime, or how does it work?
No, it's not permanent, of course. It's once in a while. Let's say years. It takes years. Depends on the quality as well. But it's not that 1 week time or 1 month time or 2 month time.
It's kind of long.
Let's say year or two.
Okay.
But it's easier to re-oil your emeralds by yourself. Of course, if you don't have this kind of machine, you can use the basic.
Like you were saying, just put it in a jar with oil.
Just put it in a jar.
And so if people are going to oil at home, I know you guys are using cedar oil for most of the time, which is pretty much what everyone uses now. So maybe people can just get that same cedar oil if they want to do it at home, or...
There are many kinds of oil, but the reason why the people use the cedar oil, or let's say resins or polymers, because the refractive index of these liquids are really close to the actual emerald.
So it's really high.
Yeah, it's
invisible
hiding.
pretty much inside.
For the eye, not for the loop,
right?
Of course, but for the eyes, yeah.
And so you mentioned before, so there's oil and then there's polymers and resins. So as someone who's doing the oiling, is there some time when you might use oil and sometimes when you might use resin, or how do you know when to use?
In our company, we try not to use any polymers or resins. You need to understand which type of stone do you have. If you have an expensive stone, and if the cracks are too small, you don't need to use the resin. You'll make the hard for the cutter who's gonna cut it next.
Okay.
Even harder.
Okay.
With the resin or any other polymers. And also, if you will give the stone for the certification, they must put what kind of treatment should be there.
So basically, for emeralds, the report will tell you essentially what kind of a filling or treatment it has. And then that has a pretty big effect on market value, right? So then the choice of whether to do resin or to do oil or even to do no oil, this is really going to be based not as much on the stone, it's more about the market that it's going to. Is that correct?
It's more based on the quality and the price.
Yeah.
You cannot sell the resin stone more expensive than just normal oil stone.
Okay. So the market's kind of asking for oil, the high-end market.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
If the person who's selling you, your dealer, is telling you this, so then it's only you decide what do you need.
So then it's really going to just depend on what's important to you as a customer and maybe what works with your budget. So it's not necessarily have anything to do with quality. It's more just how the stone's been prepared for different parts of the market.
Yeah, kind of. If the cracks are big and you really cannot do anything with oil, and you still need to sell the stone, so then you just go for resin or polymers.
Okay.
But one more time, you should tell to your customer that it's been treated with with resin or.
Okay. So once the stone has been oiled, how does it affect the color? Does the oil change the color in any way, or is it just only clarity?
No, it's not change any color, of course. It's helps to improve the transparency.
Okay.
When all the cracks covered by the oil, you just can't see them easily.
Okay.
So it's give the idea that the color was improved, but actually it's not.
So basically, by making the stone more clear, we are seeing the color more, or maybe the reflection better, but it's not actually coloring it in any way. Yeah. Okay. And so one question that I've been thinking about a lot as a cutter, and I've been doing my own research and journey into the world of emeralds, and do you think that if you're a gem cutter who wants to cut emeralds, do you think it's really important that they also understand the oiling process?
Yes, it's pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. because because of the oil hides all the defects of the stone.
Yeah.
Inside, so it's you need to know this.
Okay, so
you need to know what type of oil and how.
And so, like for instance, if you wanted to recut an emerald that was oiled, you really need to know how to take the oil out, because otherwise you wouldn't really see where the flaws are at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, of course you can get this information practically, so by doing a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
But if you know the procedure of oiling, so it will be much easier for you to cut and to understand the orientation of the stone.
Yeah. I always imagined that the oiling was much more complicated, like it was some kind of crazy machine, but actually it's a simple device, and it's just basically just a way to get the vacuum to put the oil in. And so, at least for me, you've demystified the whole oiling process a little bit. Okay, very, very interesting. Well, thank you so much for kind of walking us through the process and letting us get a little inside view into, you know, what you guys are doing inside of GemMatrix and what's going on inside of the emeralds. So, thanks so much, and you guys have a great time.
Thank you, you too.
Okay, and to all of our friends and fans out there, we will see you guys next time.